Good morning, students. This is Asha, your social science teacher. Today it's our fourth lecture on chapter 1 in history, how, when and where. And this is the last video on this chapter. We have done a chapter explanation, book reading, important terms. Everything is done. Only the last part of the chapter, which is book exercises and question answers, are left. So today we will be discussing book exercises as well as the question answers. So let's start with the book exercise. The first exercise here is true or false. So the first question here is, James Mill divided Indian history into three periods: Hindu, Muslim and Christian. So it's true or false? It's false. He divided it as Hindu, Muslim and British. Right? Let's move on to the next question, which is, official documents help us to understand what the people of country think. Is it true? No, it's false. Official documents never tells about what the people of country think. It tells about what the official thought and what were their purpose of doing particular action. Next, third question. The British thought surveys were important for effective administration. Yes, that's true. They did a lot of surveys because they believed it is an important part of effective administration. Now, let's move on to question answer. The first question which we see here, what is the problem with periodization of Indian history that James Mill offered? So children, that we have already discussed in second lecture, because what was his idea of periodization? He divided Indian history into Hindu, Muslim and British according to the ruler, not according to the people. Right? When medieval period he has given the name as Muslims, there were a lot of Hindu rulers and plus the people of the country were mixed. They were of all the variety like Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Jat, Maratha, all the people lived in India. In the same way he called the modern period or the colonial period as British, but British were very less in number in India. It was only the governing council or the people who were British. Rest all population was of Indians. So how can he call that period as British period? So yes, it had a lot of problems and many Indian historians do not accept his periodization of history into Hindu, Muslim and British. Next question. Why did the British preserve official documents? Yes, we have already discussed this also. British believed that official documents are of great source of information and it should be preserved for posterity. Posterity means the future generation. Future generation, if they want to know about their action, they can get the detailed information. And in future, if they want to refer back to history, they can go through these documents and can come to a conclusion why this particular decision was taken or not. Or you can say like this. Right? The next question is, how will the information of historians get from old newspaper will be different from that found in police reports? Yes, this also we discussed, like official documents were written by people who were in power, like police records, all this, they were biased and they were one-sided view. For any incident, they would show less number of casualties. The reality was never written in documents. When you read through the newspaper, you will find a different view on together. Isn't it? Like I gave you an example of Jallianwala Bagh massacre. The official death toll or casualties which is there in official record is much less than what we see in newspapers, because official documents are prepared by officials and they will try to hide their deeds in many ways. So yes, the information which we get from old newspapers are many a time different from what we get in official documents. Now let's discuss few more questions. So there is a question, what was done under census? So children, you know what is the census? Yes, we discussed that. It is the record of number of people living in all the provinces of India and gather information on caste, religion and occupation. It is done after every 10 years. It was started by Britishers and even today we do census. Next question. Who was James Mill? So James Mill was a Scottish economist and political philosopher and known for his book A History of British India in 1817. Now let's move on to the next question. Why did British conduct surveys? Name some surveys conducted by them. So here is the reason why they conducted surveys and different types of surveys. The first, British believed that country had to be administered, then survey had to be conducted properly to map the entire country. British conducted number of surveys in various parts of India, such as archaeological, botanical, zoological, forest revenue, and there were so many surveys which they conducted in India. Next question. How can we get the information from official records? Suppose you wish to get some information from official record. What is the process which you need to follow? So, the answer would be the act of writing produced in administrative cultures of memos, notices and reports. So this act of writing was started by Britishers, in which they wrote a lot of memos, notice, report, letters and memos which moved from one department to another in early years of 19th century are available in archives. So different department, revenue department letter to some directorate office or collector general office, they were different kind of letter written from one department to other. All these letters can be found in archive. We can take the information from the notes and reports that district official prepared. As while discussing the chapter, I said all the offices, be it the Tehsildar office, be it collector office, all the offices have their separate record rooms to preserve all these documents, notes, reports, letter. So from these offices we can get a lot of information. Information can also be collected from instruction and directives which were sent by officials of provisional administration. Yes, a lot of information was given or passed on in the form of instruction that you need to follow so and so things. So in this kind of also we can get information. Last question. Why dates do become vital in history? The dates of past are not important on their own. They become important because we focus on particular set of events as an important. So a date become important because with that date some events are related. Like we all know 23rd June 1756 Battle of Plassey was fought, but this date became important because this was a major and the first victory of Britishers in India, and with the victory over Battle of Plassey they gained control over India slowly and slowly. So this particular event or date become important because lot of historical events are related to it. If we want to study aspect of history, then dates are very vital, unless next aspect could be mixed in the earlier. So yes, dates are really very important when we have to study history. Okay, so by this we come to an end of this chapter, and I have earlier also sent you an assignment, and by the end of this lecture also I'll be sending you one assignment. And in next lecture we'll start with the chapter 1 in geography, which is resources. Okay, thank you. Prepare well.